Yo, what's good, YouTube? ZAMCRO here, aka Scoop, back with the Ninamori Nation Draft League, and we have our week number 9 match of season 4, facing off against Trip, aka TripleDeluxer. So, pretty frightening squad, as you can see on screen. This is a Mega Charizard Y, so very potent fire type attacks. Ambipom is a threat. He did not bring Zygarde, which was interesting to me. Instead, decides to bring the 6 that you see on screen. The 2 that I mentioned already, Tapu Fini, Bronzong, Gengar, and the Masquerain. So, we've brought a pretty fun team, I suppose. A little bit different than what we've brought thus far. Starting off with our Mega Metagross, we are a 3-attack Stealth Rock set. I'm not sure how many times we've brought Stealth Rock this season, but this is going to add one to that. My dog's over there, like, eating his own leg or something. So we've got a Jolly Nature to speed tie with the Gengar. Max speed, obviously, so that we can do that. We have 56 attack EVs, which allows us to OHKO and 2-hit KO everything that we can potentially OHKO and 2-hit KO after Stealth Rocks, which on this squad is pretty much everything not named Bronzong can be OHKO'd and then or 2-hit KO'd. So the Ambipom is after Stealth Rocks is knocked out by the Meteor Mash. Zard is knocked out after Stealth Rocks by the Thunder Punch. Tapu Fini is 2-hit KO'd by Thunder Punch. Bronzong is almost like an infinite wall. It doesn't do much back unless it packs Earthquake, and still that's only like a 4-hit KO or something like that. Meteor Mash knocks out Gengar after Stealth Rocks, assuming that I win the speed tie and don't get knocked out by Shadow Ball. Assuming I'm low enough in HP to drop to the Shadow Ball, as I do have 200 HP EVs on this Mega Metagross, which is pretty nice. A little bit of bulk, but Gengar is really, really strong, so I'm not sure if it's enough for like a Life Orb or a Specs or a Spooky Plate or an Expert Belt or something like that. It's kind of boosting at him. Anyways, next up he's got the Masquerain, which has the Intimidate ability and the abilities to set Stealth Rocks. So keeping my clear body might be nice for me on my Mega Metagross. Also, my more offensive mons, well, I guess not necessarily my more offensive mons, since my Hydreigon is more of a specially defensive set. I guess Landorus, though, is sort of not necessarily a win condition, but it's definitely a Pokemon that can put in a lot of work, and it's not affected by Sticky Web, so that's not too big of an issue. And the rest of my mons aren't really going to outpace his threats, and aren't really going to want to stay in versus his walls anyway. So that being said, this Hydreigon is a Crunch Thunderfang set with Roost and Taunt. Max HP with 108 Speed F EVs and 152 EVs in speed with a Jolly Nature, which I think allows us to outpace the Tapu Fini, which is pretty nice. Tapu Fini's fast. So next up we got Clefable. Wish Protect set with Moonblast and Flamethrower. Flamethrower there, obviously, for the Bronzong. He does set the Sun for me, which could be nice in that sense. I could have packed Thunderbolt, but I needed Wish so that I could actually pass Wishes to other Pokemon that appreciate recovery, like Mega Metagross and I guess Hydreigon and Licky and the Decidueye, they all have their own forms of recovery, but being able to pass it into them and not waste a turn on recovering up is really nice. And I suppose if Landorus got weakened, there's scenarios where he could potentially catch a Wish as well. Speaking of Landorus, well, first of all, Clefable's max HP, max defense takes on the Zygarde and the Ambipom pretty well. Adamant, Thousand Arrows, Choice Banded from Zygarde could potentially 2-hit KO with Stealth Rocks, but then he would have to get it right that, that he was a band set and that I was an unaware set for his Dragon Dance potential. Because if I'm a Magic Guard set and I predict his Choice Band set, then I can avoid being opened by Stealth Rock. You know, two hit KO'd by 1,000 arrows because of Stealth Rocks. So he would have to get that right. So I can understand why he didn't bring it, but it's still a massive threat, especially with Dragon Dance variant. So next up we've got Landers, which is a Ground EMZ set, timid, nearly max speed, so that we can outpace this the Charizard. And we have Gravity with Earth Power, Rock Slide, and Hidden Power Ice. We were able to go with a timid nature because Rock Slide does a number to Charizard anyway, with or without Stealth Rocks being up, and having an attack boosting or decreasing nature. And then Earth Power just bops things on his team. He doesn't have a counter once I set a Gravity. Rock Slide and Hidden Power Ice is the only coverage I need. Hidden Power Ice is there so that Zygarde isn't too big of an issue. And yeah, not rocking Rock Polish this match. I don't think speed control is a necessity in this one. And then next up we have Decidueye, or excuse me, Licky Licky and Decidueye being our last two mons. Sort of some extra bulk on the squad. We've got a Wish Protect knockoff Ice Beam Licky Licky. Knockoff is nice for the Bronzong, getting rid of items on Tapu Fini, Ambipom. Even the Gengar doesn't appreciate that. And then the Ice Beam is there specifically for the Zygarde 50% that he did not bring. Decidueye switches into Tapu Fini just about as best as possible that I can. An offensive variant anyway. If it does have Taunt, then I obviously can't roost up on it, but I do pack roost for longevity. And I got the U-turn on there, so if he wants to switch into Charizard a lot, I can start predicting that and then start hitting him up with a U-turn and gain momentum that way. I have Leaf Blade specifically for the Tapu Fini and Shadow Sneak so that I can maybe pick off a weakened Gengar and at least do some damage to Bronzong, I suppose. And like I said, my last move is Roost. I'm a mixed defense set, mostly defensive. And yeah, Decidueye is pretty awesome Pokemon. So let's go ahead and hop into the battle here. Like I said, he brings these 6 Pokemon. It leaves the Zygarde 50% at home. Very interesting to me. I felt he maybe could have brought it over the Ambipom, but again, Clefable can just be solely used versus Ambipom now. And potentially baiting Bronzong in and getting some nice damage off on it with the Flamethrower so that maybe Mega Metagross can potentially weaken things later. So, yeah, his only potential Stealth Rocker in this match is the Bronzong. So if he's going to lead off with Rocks, that's what he's going to lead with. So I'm going to lead off with Mega Metagross and get my own Rocks up because it hurts him way worse than it hurts me. And he leads off with the Ambipom and reveals the Foul Play. But thanks to my HP investment, I'm able to survive. But that was a roll, and I didn't want to risk it there. He could have got a 56% roll or something like that. Didn't want to risk it. Able to go into my Clefable here, get up Stealth Rocks, throw off a Wish, and now I can just click Protect here and get my Wish back. And then after this, I'll be back to full thanks to my leftovers. And now what I'm going to do is just click Wish once again, but he taunts me. So nice reveal of taunt there. I'll hard switch out into my Decidueye, double out into my Clefable, predicting the Foul Play, and now I'm going to click the Moonblast as I'm going to predict him to taunt. And he does just that, and hopefully I can get him again. I'm going to go out into Decidueye, double out into Clefable once again, and hopefully he goes for it. And he does. So he hits me with the Foul Play there, and this Life Orb damage is going to be able to knock out the Ambipom. So that's huge for me. That thing was a threat, and we're actually able to get out of there with nearly max HP on all of our Pokemon, which is fantastic. Except Mega Metagross is at half, which is okay. That's okay in range of Gengar at this point, but that's not too big of an issue. As we're going to hard switch out to our Decidueye here, our opponent is able to get rid of the Rocks and hard switch out into Masquerain as we're going to hard switch, or not hard switch, but on their momentum switch from the U-turn, we're going to be able to knock out the Masquerain there. The Charizard comes in. At full, it's not in range of Thunder Punch, so I'm just going to go out to my Licky Licky, which this Licky Licky is designed to beat the Charizard. Not necessarily beat it, but to wall it. Because Charizard, uh, even with the sun up, doesn't do as much damage to Licky Licky, because Licky Licky this week, instead of running Oblivious, I'm expecting my opponent to know that this thing gets Oblivious and not ever taunt me. So I'm expecting him not to expect the Cloud9 ability, which I do have, which does not give Charizard a boost from the sun. So despite sun being up, it's not boosted. Flamethrower is not boosted. Fire Blast isn't boosted. Therefore, Charizard can't ever 2-hit KO me. And Focus Blast is like a roll extremely in my favor or something like that. So not too big of an issue. I'm able to get rid of Bronzong's item as he sets up a Reflect. So this is pretty scary for me. He does hard switch out into Charizard though. Here, what I'm going to do is, since I got a Wish up, is I'm going to go hard out into my Hydreigon as he actually just clicks the Flamethrower, which is nice for me. Expecting the Focus Blast and not needing Clefable, I'm just going to sack him off here, as he does reveal Dragon Pulse, which is very interesting to me. Meaning he probably doesn't have Focus Blast, meaning Licky Licky is probably a guaranteed wall. So here I'm going to pull a switch out into my Licky Licky, as my opponent pulls a switch out into the Gengar. So this was super interesting to me. I wasn't sure what my opponent was going to do here, if he was going to stay in and potentially trick me, if he was going to click sub or what. So what I'm going to do is just going to click knock off here, as my opponent goes for, it looks like a Life Orb Sludge Wave, or Sludge Bomb, excuse me. And my knockoff gets disabled. So luckily he is in range of Ice Beam, so I could just click Ice Beam here. But what I'm going to do is get a Wish off first, make sure I'm going to get my Hydreigon here. But my opponent predicts that, goes for the God play, and knocks me out with the Dazzling Gleam, my Hydreigon, man. Wow. I don't know what to say. But yeah, here, as you can see on screen, the name at the bottom of the move's name has already went off, and you can see that I've clicked Shadow Sneak here. It does, in fact, knock out the Gengar from that range easily. My opponent is able to bring back in his Charizard. I'm going to sack off Clefable here. I didn't want to risk Licky Licky to a crit, so sacking off Clefable made the most sense here, and I'm going to be able to survive one hit, get off a Protect, meaning I'm wasting 3 turns of Sun, able to bring in my Licky Licky here. My Cloud9 effect goes off once again, and yeah, just going to be able to eat up Sun hits. But my opponent does switch out. I throw off a Wish, so expecting my opponent to potentially taunt me or something. I just pull a hard switch out into my Mega Metagross, get the Wish back, able to get Rocks back up, as my opponent's going for the Scald here, not being able to do much damage, and thanks to the Misty Terrain, he's not able to burn me or anything like that. And thankfully, my opponent's going to be in range of Thunder Punch here. And now Charizard is in range of Thunder Punch. Bronzong has Reflect, so I'm going to switch out here, go out into my Decidueye. As my opponent reveals the Reflect, I'm going to U-turn out, just going to try to waste turns of Reflect, but my opponent goes for the Shadow Ball. So I was like, whoa, what? Shadow Ball? And here I'm going to go for the Wish, as my opponent reveals the Calm Mind. So I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And my opponent goes for the Shadow Ball again here. Gets the Spadef drop, but now I'm at max HP. So my opponent can't knock me out with Shadow Ball or Psychic after the Spadef drop. And I'm able to get the Gravity up. I'm going for the Ground EMZ here, because it will knock out even after the special attack boost. And now Bronzong and Charizard will drop to the Earth Power. Landorus Incarnate coming in clutch there when I needed it. And yeah, able to pull out a nice big victory here. Long battle, 40 turns, but able to pull out a 4-0 victory. So yeah, that's going to be it. Going to be it for week number 9. Able to pick up a win versus Trip and his squad. A very fun game though. His offensive threats were very, very potent. Wonder how different the game may have been with Landorus though. But yeah, good game to him. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays and both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.